What is going on, my friends? We're out here in Melbourne, Florida, not too far from the coast, and we've got another customer ride, so we're going to see if we've got a reaction or a ride along and see how well FSD handles the task.
How's your day going so far?
Pretty good. Get your code for me?
Oh, yeah. Sorry. 4764.
Perfect.
That's new. I haven't seen that before.
Yeah, not everybody uses it, but it's
a good thing.
It's in your settings, too.
Here it's easy, but I mean, when you're picking up people like downtown and stuff, that's probably nice, when there's a lot of people.
Yeah. Yeah, it's been around for a while. You can actually make it your own preference in your settings as a rider, too.
Yeah. Like my house, obviously, it's pretty obvious. There's not people hanging around, but when you're out, that's nice when there's a lot of cars or anything.
Well, yeah, and it's just nice to make sure you've
in the right
got
place.
Who they say they are.
Exactly, yep.
Heading up to the Cape?
Yeah, I did one of those casino cruises last night, so I left my car up there.
Oh, I got you.
They give you all, the free beers and stuff, so I figured it'd be... Oh.
That was nice. That was my self-driving being dumb.
It got spooked.
Yeah. Well, it might be because it's still taking forever to calculate the route. Come on now. I'll give it a pass. There we go. Oh, that's why, because for some reason it wants us to turn around. It needs to...
to go to 95.
Recalculate. Yeah, let me see if I can just choose an alternate route. It's being stupid.
Yeah, I would think it would at least take you over to like O'Galley over and then...
Yeah, I'm going to follow Uber's route for a second. Just until it wakes the hell up. Oh, it's navigating without any data. There we go. There it is.
Yeah, this one works.
Yeah. No. Why are you? Thank you. My gosh.
My friend, what year is this?
This is 2020.
2020? Yeah, my friend got a 2023 one about the January, February time frame.
Very nice.
Yeah.
So he managed to get the refreshed one, the new one?
Yeah, I think so, yep.
Yeah, I'm hoping to have one of my own in a couple months.
Oh, nice.
I really like what they've done with the Model 3. And we should, in a couple of weeks, see the next version of the Model Y.
Yeah, I saw that.
Is there enough air for you?
Oh, yeah,
okay?
Perfect.
Cool. What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another ride-along video. Yeah, I thought with the way this ride was starting that we might have had more of a customer reaction, back and forth sort of thing, but he quickly quieted down, was in his phone, maybe recovering from a little bit too much fun the last night or a couple nights before, holiday seasons and all. So it's important to me as a content creator and as a service provider to know when not to pester people. I don't want to be that guy. So that is why we have these ride-along videos, so we can actually talk about FSD, about what's going on, and not have to worry about or rely on the interaction with customers. Though I do think those are a lot of fun, and anytime that does happen, it'll be on the channel. But that aside, as we go forward with these ride-alongs, I'm still kind of finding the balance and the best way to present these things. So what we have here is about a 45-minute customer ride. But what you're going to notice is I'm trying a different tactic where I am going to speed up a bulk of that, where the system is doing really well and there's not a whole lot to talk about. And I'm going to pop in to talk about a couple of key points. Now, there's 4 or 5 in this video where something was either annoying or just kind of an issue that needs to be refined. Overall, the ride does go really well. Feel free to fast forward through the points where I'm talking about the goodies with the car or the baddies, and then the final reveal and opinion of the customer at the end of the video. So we're going to zip through. I'm skipping red lights. So yes, there are edits and cuts, but nothing really meaningful is being missed. And let me know what you guys think about the feel of the video, the length of it. I don't want to keep it too long. If I can aim for 20 minutes or less, that's great. And I'm going to play around and try to make it enjoyable and not overbearing. So let's get into it. All right, now this first part coming up here, you'll notice as we're coming up to this red car, that this is a wide open turning lane here, and the system is kind of indicating that it needs to get over. What you might not realize without the view of the cameras or the mirrors there is the person behind me was sort of inching over to go around me as well, which is why I needed to get involved and speed this process up so that they wouldn't loop around me or cause an issue. Drivers can be a bit sporadic, and I'd rather not risk it. And it would have been nice if, like in other cases, the car just preemptively gets over and does a really good job of just getting into that turn lane without me needing to get involved. Now, the timing might have been okay, that the green light would have let us get over, so I wouldn't even really consider this a failure kind of intervention. It was more so annoyance / convenience when factoring in that turning lane. So let me know what you think about that and what your experience has been like when it comes to those kind of leading turn lane issues where other humans behind you are just going to end up going around you and getting in that turn lane, cutting you off, or getting ahead of you. Now, what you're about to see up here, you'll notice that for the majority of this section, we've been in this left lane, and this is something that I have not been the biggest fan of when it comes to this system. Now, this particular mover is a bit more understandable. There's a little confusion because this truck in front of us is about to get over into a left turning lane, and the system seems to think that maybe it's time to execute a maneuver around this person to avoid them, but then we do cross over a solid white, which isn't the end of the world, let's be real. And then what happens afterward is another indicator of this weird favoring of the left lane. All right, we have a right-hand turn coming up, and this right here, where the system will start to get over in the left lane again, later of which there's several more examples where I actually interrupt it, and I even make sure we're in chill mode with minimal lane change turned on. So I should only be changing lanes to execute maneuvers, not to get around people or whatever logic is running in the background. Of course, this is the neural net. We're not on a highway. Even on these roads in Florida, I look at this lane as a passing lane, especially with the way people in Florida drive on these country roads that go anywhere from 50 to 60, 65 miles an hour or 80 to 105K. And people in the left lane are expecting to be able to move along. And a lot of FSD likes to kind of chill a little below the speed limit. And that is a bad mix when it comes to a lot of these backroads country drivers, especially in the state of Florida. You guys have probably seen this as well. Now, what you're seeing here, I'm showing a little frustration in the car because this is another problem. We got very lucky here that we didn't have anyone on the right blocking us, but do you see how late we started to make those right lane changes to get into this turning lane? This is one of the drawbacks that I've encountered with this favoring the left lane issue that's actually caused me to have to intervene to avoid missing an exit on the highway or a right turn on a city street, because not everyone's so generous to let you over. So I'm curious what you guys have experienced on 12.542. Again, we're on hardware 3 at 12.542, still waiting for 12.6, and of course not version 13. But please let me know all your experiences on the different builds and what you're seeing. So we're already back in the left lane here, and it's frustrating. But we'll go ahead and zip ahead to a couple of the other scenarios and talk about them before we kind of get toward the end of the video. Aside from these little annoyances, the ride went really well. I have to get really nitpicky to really find a problem with FSD, but the problems are there, as small as they may be to some. So right here, I'm actually showing, oh no, sorry, I was actually a little ahead of myself. There, I just turned on a minimal lane change to try to prevent it from unnecessarily getting over to the left, and we are in chill mode again. So this is to set us up for what's coming as the car behaves a little bit annoyingly when it comes to the left lane. So as we slow down here, this was actually a really cool area to drive by. You can't really see it too well to the left, but that is the Patrick Air Force Base. And we're heading up towards Cocoa and Cape Canaveral. And these are just really cool areas to drive around. Now here I go ahead and decide to force the car into the right lane to observe what it does, because we have a right-hand turn very far down the road. And aside from a potential right lane becoming a turn lane scenario, there's no reason for the car to get into the left lane. You'll see here as we drive along that we have nothing but space in front of us. And in fact, what you can't see, and I will pan the screen a little bit to show you guys, is that there is somebody in my left quarter panel kind of hovering back there. And there are a couple of times where the car wanted to execute a left lane change, which would have been rude and cut them off. So it should be coming up here. We'll have a couple of examples of it trying to get into the left lane. And in these cases, I'm actually hitting that turn stock to cancel the maneuver, to show you guys, to report it back to Tesla, and to stop it from being rude and cutting in front of the person who is just here to our left. Here coming up, I'm curious because we got this Mustang here. I think they finally carry on a bit. You know, they were hovering there. I'm checking to see ahead because I'm intentionally trying to see, like, all right, how far do we have? What's going on? Will the car try to favor the left lane for an actual reason or just because? Because on the highway, it'll get into this left lane and stay there. It won't usually get out of it. Sometimes it does. Sometimes it executes right lane change to get out of passing lane or left to get out of rightmost lane, and that's great. So here's the first cancellation. And you can't see it too well, but there is like a white SUV behind me to the rear on the left side. And I will, again, pan the screen over to show everybody that I'm trying to be more intuitive to what I'm going to be covering in the voiceovers. That's why you'll see me kind of gesturing and pointing at different things. And coming up here in a second, you should see another example of it trying to make that left lane change. There's 2 or 3 on this straightaway, plus the 1 or 2 when we were on the previous road. Now, you'll notice again, there are no cars in front of us. There's no indicator that a lane is going to end. And our next maneuver, you can see on the screen there, is a right turn. So I just canceled it again, and I'm hitting that report back to Tesla. And there it is again. And I cancel it a 3rd time there. So it is, it's frustrating. 4 overall if you count an earlier road segment, you know, where the bridge was and all. And yeah, I mean, it's not the biggest problem in the world, guys. I get it, I know. But it is something that is persistent in 12.542 and frustrating. There are times where it will do it back to back, maybe 4 or 5 times within 60 seconds. And it makes me think that there's like a lane ending, or I'm turning left, or my routing's messed up, and I'm constantly checking, and most of the time that's not the case. There are off chances where the lane does become a turning lane, and the car got over into the correct lane. But the other side of the coin is that more often than not, I am fighting to make sure we stage properly for the next maneuver, which impacts the success rating on my RoboTaxi result side of things. So let me know what you think. I know it might seem nitpicky to some, a non-issue, but I'm curious. And please also, on top of that, hit me up with your feedback on this video. We are going to go ahead and zip along to the end of the ride here and get the a little feedback from the customer and my closing thoughts. So thanks again, guys, for tuning in. Let's get back to the ride. How'd the drive feel for you?
Oh, great, man.
Not too bad for a self-driving car, huh?
Yeah. Oh, wait, that was all that. It's crazy they can do that nowadays.
Yeah.
I think it might through here.
To the right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, you know, aside from the annoying tendency to stick to the left lane, not bad. I did that intentionally, as you probably heard in the voiceover, to, you know, show you what I've been talking about with regard to the annoying tendency to veer into the left lane or to choose to get to the left lane. It's so annoying and so unnecessary, and frankly, just looking forward to it not being a thing anymore. We'll see. But I hope you guys enjoyed that. Definitely a bit of an uneventful drive, and I'm sure I talked your ear off enough in the commentary portion of this video. So I'm going to go ahead and get on to the next customer, and I hope you guys enjoy the content. I will catch you next time.